Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 5:34, and Nirvana with Bax and Nagle and Rock 102. Hey, it's a little slippery if you're going to be driving. A winter weather advisory continues to about 10 a.m. this morning. Be cloudy with freezing rain. Some of that's going to continue into the afternoon with a high of 37. Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 24. And then for tomorrow, windy with a few clouds. You could get some gusts to over 40 miles an hour tomorrow, high of 31. It's 31 degrees right now in downtown Springfield. Man, a very exciting show today. We have a mystery guest coming up around, 8:45, 8:50-ish or so. I don't want to say who it is because that would spoil the mystery of having a mystery guest. We'll also talk to comedian Sydney Washington. She's going to be at the Roar Comedy Club this Saturday for an outstanding night of comedy. Got a lot of credits in her background. We'll get to all of that later on after 7 o'clock. And there's more. It's Bax and Nagle at Rock 102.
Hey, it's Pat Kelly.
Going to be a mix of whatever the hell this crap is out there. A high of 40 today. It's pretty messy out there, so just go slow. Tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds with a high of 31. It is 33 right now in downtown Springfield.
Hollywood Trash is brought to you by Western Mass Masons. Call them for all your foundation and chimney needs.
Somehow you still care about what's happening in Hollywood. So, from Tinseltown, 3,000 miles away, it's Steve Nagle's Hollywood Trash.
All right, we did this yesterday during the show, but we didn't do it during Hollywood Trash. The rundown of the Hall of Fame,
yes.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame class of 2025. This year's first-timers are Bad Company, The Black Crowes, Joe Cocker, Billy Idol, Manya. I don't even know who that is.
They're from out of town.
Outcast, Fish, and finally Chubby Checker. Chubby is still with us, by the way, at 83 years old. I thought he was older than that for some reason.
He's not, which makes you think he must have been very, very young at the time of the twist. And by the way,
he was probably like 15 or 16 years old.
My understanding is he'll be back at the Big E this year.
If he makes it to September.
Listen, Hall of Fame and the Big E, take your pick.
How do you twist with a walker? I don't understand how that happens.
Gingerly. Very slowly.
Very slowly. He had 2 hits, the twist and let's twist again. And the limbo rock if you count the third.
I didn't count that one.
But he's been waiting in the rock and roll in the Rock Hall for a long time. In 2001, he took out a full-page ad in Billboard arguing for his inclusion. That's a little pretentious, don't you think?
Well, I mean, you can make the case that he set the world on fire with that dance.
Yeah, but you took out a page ad. That's like us going to the Valley Advocate and going, "Hey, we'll give you all this money if you tell people to vote for us in the next thing."
Isn't that how the Kellogg crew keeps getting the awards?
No, it's that other guy who keeps getting it for some reason.
Oh, that's right.
Because he's got a campaign of people.
That
stuffs the ballots.
Yes.
Anyway, the rest of this year's nominees are Mariah Carey, Joy Division, Cyndi Lauper, Oasis, Soundgarden, and the White Stripes. The class of 2025 will be announced in April. Then why are we doing it now?
Because this is the nominees and the results of the voting will be there.
Oh, I thought it was like
because you can vote every day, but once a day.
I'm not voting.
The whole thing's a ripoff and a scam anyway,
fixed.
so of course it's fixed. The ones that deserve it aren't going to go, and the ones that don't deserve it are going to go in.
I guess so. Let's see. I don't know why my internet is so slow this morning. Is yours?
No, it's lightning fast today.
Are you sure about that?
No, I'm kidding you. It's as slow as molasses.
I really, honestly can't get the next thing in line here.
I'll make it up.
All right, well, there's patio furniture on sale. I literally don't have any internet. I don't. There's
you got nothing.
My page X'd out.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't call it back up?
Let me see if I can get something else in here. See if we can get somewhat of a.
Well.
All right. How about
kinds of things happen?
All right. Well, here now maybe we're back in business. Sometimes it just takes a few seconds. I guess I don't know. When Naya Rivera drowned getting her son back into a boat in 2020, the last thing she said to him before she went under was his name. But the boy's father says he's a happy kid. He's 9 years old now.
Okay.
Do you know who Naya Rivera is?
I don't.
You don't?
I have no idea.
Well, she clearly tried to save her son.
Okay.
She was an actress, a singer, and model. Recognized for her work on the popular musical comedy series Glee.
That's why I don't know who she is.
Well, because what a horrible story, though.
The terrible
trying
story.
To save your kid.
Very sad.
I just wanted to bring down Hollywood trash just a couple of notches.
I mean, I thought the slow internet would have been enough.
No, that was...
Apparently, you didn't want to stop there. You just kept on going.
Did you know that 20-year-old Millie Bobby Brown lives on a farm in rural Georgia?
I did not know that.
She talked all about her humbled married life to Jake Bon Jovi in her new cover story for Vanity Fair. Since she lives close enough to the Stranger Things set, she'd bring her foster dogs to work and even bottle-fed a baby goat in her trailer. Millie says, quote, "I'm not doing it for the aesthetic. I'm doing it because I love it. There are maybe some trad wives out there doing it because it seems wholesome, but it's not. If you're picking up horse crap or washing a cow with your bare hands, then that life is not made for you at all." She's not wrong about that.
No, she's not, but she's a little full of herself.
Millie and Jake have sheep, goats, cows, donkeys, horses, a slinky tuxedo cat, and foster dogs. She also has a therapy dog to help with panic attacks. What, panicking that you're not going to be able to afford the next round of feed to feed all those animals?
Say the same thing.
She launched an animal rescue from her farm called Joey's Friends back in 2022, and she rescues dogs from local kill shelters that people can adopt. I've always wanted to go to a kill shelter before.
Why?
To see what goes on there. I have no idea what goes on at a kill shelter.
I think you'll be kind of upset by what you see.
What? I don't understand what's going on with this this internet here, dude.
I don't. I'm not the IT guy, so I couldn't tell you.
All right, I'll just read you some headlines. You ready? Kendrick Lamar's viral Super Bowl jeans are size 29 women's and were originally meant for Timothy Chalamet.
Is that a fact?
Yeah. R. Kelly convictions and 30-year prison term upheld by federal appeals court.
Could you get into some of the details, please?
No, who needs to know? I mean, this guy's a scumbag anyway. Shopify says risk of fraud, not the Nazi swastika, was the reason for the Kanye West store takedown.
Is that a fact?
They were okay with that, but it was just the fact that we could have gotten hacked.
Well, you know, I think there's multiple reasons not to go and buy his stuff.
Scarlett Johansson is urging the government to limit AI after faked video of her opposing Kanye West goes viral. This is just going to get worse and worse, this whole AI thing. There are, like, the latest models of these things have so many, like, celebrities that you can put into videos. And there's no... It's hard to tell that it's real or not.
I mean, if you gave AI all the markers you need to recreate an AI version of Kanye,
yeah,
good luck with all of that.
Do you really? We don't need more of him.
We really, truly don't.
Kim Kardashian just dropped her newest Skims offering in a new video campaign where she's wearing her ultimate butt bodysuit, which is a one-piece bodysuit that includes a padded chest and padded butt to enhance those areas.
Just had something to say.
Oh my God! The last time someone paid this much attention to my bottom end was when Ray J cleaned my drain like the Tidy Bowl man and came up wearing a poo clam chew in that sex tape you could purchase on YouPorn for $39.95. Did you ever have a poo clam chew?
No, I have not had one of those. Caitlin?
Well, I never got that down and dirty with your brother Chris Kim, but I once stuffed the corned beef in her spunk cabbage. I went dong jousting in the bikini burger.
What are you trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is I smashed the gash until she was frothing like a cappuccino machine.
Yeah, sure.
You see, Papa Caitlin likes the walrus down there. Goo-goo-gajoob. Don't even get me started about the Eggman.
No, please don't.
Those prices are really high right now. And that's your Hollywood trash on Rock 102.
And now, Bax's View from the Couch, brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware, Winter Storm Headquarters, before and after the storm.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Well, that certainly took long enough. As some of you may have heard by now, after months of teasing, haggling, negotiating, and beating around the bush, former Houston Astros free agent third baseman Alex Bregman has agreed to a 3-year contract with the Boston Red Sox. That's right. The guy that Alex Cora has been salivating over during the entire offseason will find himself moving from third to second base and taking home $40 million a year to do it. That's right, a 3-year deal worth $120 million. Now you might say, damn, that's a lot of money for a guy who has to learn a new position, to which I would say, poppycock. According to Alex Cora, who coached him back when he was learning how to set up video cameras in the outfield and bang on trash cans when he was with Houston, Alex Bregman can play pretty much wherever the hell he wants, except for third. And as far as the money is concerned, yes, $40 million a year is a lot of money. It also happens to be $10 million more than anybody else is willing to offer the guy. He also has 2 opt-out clauses, so if things don't work out, he can leave. But why would anyone want to leave with a team that's added guys like Garrett Crochet, Walker Buehler, and Aroldis Chapman in the offseason? Or a team that's managed by a guy he's known for years in Alex Cora? These are tough questions, of course, and if it were me, I'd have 120 million reasons not to leave. Ever. But only time will tell. All I can say is that somehow somebody has finally waved the smelling salts in front of John Henry's face, because it appears as though he's finally regained consciousness and has agreed to start spending money on his baseball team again. Because for the last couple of seasons, I've been thinking about organizing a wellness check, because I wasn't entirely sure the man was still alive. Well, alive he is, and his bank account appears to have finally caught a second wind. And frankly, it's got me aroused. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. You know, the DeWalt $99 power tool sale at Rocky's is going on right now. You can get a DeWalt circular saw, the reciprocating saw, DeWalt cordless grinder, cordless compact drill kit with a lithium-ion battery. Get one, get them all, $99 each at your neighborhood Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch. Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock at 6:11, and Led Zeppelin with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It's a mess out there. Just be careful while you're driving. Mix of whatever this crap is out there for a while. High of 40 for today. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 31. It is 33 right now in downtown Springfield.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we got a mystery guest coming up later on this morning. This is
a mystery guest.
Yes, very exciting. I'll tell you who it is, but that would spoil the mystery.
Mick Jagger.
No, not even close.
All right.
And also a comedian, Sydney Washington, coming to the Roar Comedy Club. We'll be talking to her after 7 o'clock. Very funny lady with a lot of credits in her past. So we'll talk about that later on.
Easy with that word "lady," by the way. You don't want to be.
I don't want to assume.
Anyway, so here you just alerted me to this, and because I didn't see it on Mass Live last night. The West Springfield. The city's most prestigious pageant was cast into chaos.
I thought that was pronounced cow-ass.
Well, that's what the person feels like who made this snafu.
Well, they should.
Cast into chaos when the wrong Colleen was crowned during a public ceremony at Storyton Tavern Saturday night. 5 finalists were vying for the top spot in the annual Irish Heritage Contest. Because of a clerical mistake, the wrong contestant was named in error, leaving the true winner out in the cold.
Oh, my God.
The pageant is hosted by the West Springfield St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee. At least 2 committee leaders have already submitted their resignations over their fiasco. The committee member, Lynn McCarthy, did not respond to a request for comment. The winner receives a $3,000 college scholarship and a premier spot on the float in the Holyoke St. Patrick's Day Parade. The event's MC, Town Councilor Brian Clune, said he was given an envelope by organizers when the moment of truth was near. They handed me the envelope with the number 3. Is that what? I don't think Brian Clune sounds like
I don't think
that.
he sounds like that.
Well,
but,
let's just pretend he does.
Sure.
With no corresponding name, then I referred it to another handwritten note, and I was given, and Charlotte Brooks was listed as number 3. I feel bad for the girls who were caught up in this. Why does he sound like Mark from West Springfield?
I don't really know. Maybe he is Mark from West Springfield.
Through a ranking system, the bona fide winner was Ainsley Kearney, Clune said. Neither Brooks nor Kearney could be reached for comments. In a lengthy public statement on its Facebook page, the parade committee owned up to the error, noting that a meeting at the noting that at a meeting following the pageant, Brooks volunteered to relinquish the crown. During the meeting, the board met with all the contestants and their parents to review the situation. During this meeting, the contestant who was mistakenly crowned graciously stepped down, allowing the contestant who was intended to be called to take her place as Colleen, the statement read in part. The statement did not name the legitimate winner and asked that residents not discuss the matter on social media. It also affirmed Clune's version of how the pageant went off the rails.
Well, with any luck, it won't find its way onto Mass Live or Rock 102.
Good for that. Judges are required to include both the contestant's name and number in the envelope. However, in this instance, the envelope contained only a contestant number from a preliminary event. The contestants' positions in the lineup were apparently outdated.
Oh, my God. How can something like this happen?
It's unclear how or when the committee realized its mistake. The mix-up was reminiscent of when game and talk show host Steve Harvey crowned the wrong... Okay, you're going a little too far.
No, this is exactly like what Steve Harvey did.
As Miss Universe in 2015 when Faye Dunaway announced the wrong winner for Best Picture at the 2017 Academy Awards. The error occurred in a region that takes its Colleen seriously.
You're damn right it does.
Last year, Chicobee's chosen Colleen, Kinnamarie Ayala, was removed from her city. Oh, yeah, they had. I remember this last year.
Mm-hmm.
Was removed from her city's parade float for violating unspecified codes of conduct. Ayala, I don't even know how to. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Ayala, and instead walked with Holyoke Mayor Josh Garcia in the parade. She maintained that the move was discriminatory and based on false information. Other West Springfield officials say the controversy triggered an outsized response from the community on social media and other channels. Town Councilor Brian Griffin. That's weird.
No kidding.
The dog?
Wait a minute. His daughter Meg was the Colleen?
Yeah. Shut
up, Meg.
Whose daughter was crowned a Colleen in 2016, said that while organizers had a misstep in this instance, the parade committee members are typically longtime committed volunteers. Those individuals who have tendered their resignations are both valued and appreciated by the entire town. That has to be weighed heavily by anyone who may consider accepting their submissions. Griffin added, however, that he was dismayed to learn that at least one contestant was scolded for violating a non-disclosure agreement the candidates and their families are required to sign. Why? Wait, why do you need to sign a non-disclosure agreement for a contest that's...
do you not
handing
understand
out scholarships?
Do you not understand the importance of a local Colleen?
No, I guess I don't.
This is like a very secret vote. Names are not to be used, fingers are not to be pointed, and everyone's supposed to zip it.
The reasons
That's
for
why you signed the non-disclosure agreement,
and it
zip
says the reasons for requiring such a binding legal agreement for a local Colleen contest are unclear. Because that's what makes it sound like it's a bunch of nefarious stuff going on behind the scenes.
If you were to offer transparency in these Colleen pageants, Steve, then it would all of a sudden the sheen would come off the Colleen. If you keep it secret and you underground, then all of a sudden, then it gives a real sense of cachet to the Colleen.
The town should embrace the two young ladies involved in this unfortunate mistake. The entire town should be proud of them. Both of them have shown tremendous leadership qualities. Okay, then why don't you just give $3,000 to both of them?
Well, that would be great, but you have to come up with $3,000.
You couldn't do that?
Excuse me?
You don't think there's $3,000 floating around in a Colleen committee?
I don't know.
It's $3,000. It's not $30,000.
Yeah, but that could cripple the entire town. If the mayor were involved in this, he'd probably be the last one to tell you, I'm not going to write a check for $3,000 for your mistake.
I think we should start a GoFundMe for the kid that didn't get the $3,000.
I can see that happening, and I can see where that would be a fair thing to do. A local effort to make sure that both of these young ladies are taken care of. Listen, being on the float is one thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that you're gonna have to battle that out. Maybe the one that actually won gets on the float.
Yeah.
But if I'm a young Colleen nominee, I'll take the $3,000 scholarship, please.
Listen,
I don't need to be on the float.
If I have any message for these kids, it's gonna be okay. Listen, Dave Coombs was crowned the masshole of this show when I thought that was never going to happen, and I had to sit here in begrudging silence for 6 months.
And look at the consolation prize we had to award him.
Yeah. Well, but somebody had to die in order for that to happen. So you never know. Maybe, maybe one of these committee members, has to go into the hospital.
Well, listen, I just hope that West Springfield can move on from this scandal, and that the town doesn't need to start, chopping heads, or there needs to be some sort of tribunal where they all get together and try to argue their way. What happened, and how can we get to? When did you learn this woman was not the Colleen, and how soon did you know it?
These little contests are kind of silly.
No, Steve.
Yeah, they're silly.
They are crucial. They're crucial to every town in Western Mass.
No, because for the one that didn't, she's like, whatever. All right, fine. She can win.
What I fear, Steve, is you're going to have a gaggle of former Colleens, gathering at our parking lot with torches and pitchforks, wanting to have a little discussion with you about the importance of the Colleen coronation.
No, I'm sorry. It doesn't say that they can do that in their non-binding non-disclosure or binding non-disclosure agreement.
Well, maybe they could be masked.
I guess so.
Like masked Colleens, all of a sudden, tipping over police vehicles and causing real ruckus.
Why don't we do like a Will Reichelt eeny meeny miny mo contest to see who gets the Colleen?
Yeah, my mother, your mother, hanging up the clothes.
Yeah.
My mother punched your mother right in the nose.
Listen, people
Which one is the Colleen?
People don't think in those terms. Like, they don't think outside the box.
I know.
Like, how can we pick a different Colleen by doing, let's go back to like the college basketball. Listen, we do it with the cake. If somebody wants to pick a cake and somebody has a dispute over the cake, we settle that thing evenly. A basketball bracket system.
Well, I don't know if the Colleen Committee in West Springfield or Holyoke or Chicopee or anywhere else for that matter, I don't know what kind of rules they have set up. If in case of a tie or in case of a clerical error. I mean, do they have a system in place that helps clarify these things?
I don't know. I think here's what it should happen. This is the final way you decide this thing. You get both of these girls. Right?
Yeah.
Get it boxing gloves, and they can fight it out with the Colleen Committee. Remember,
not fighting each other.
Yeah, it'd be like a celebrity boxing match, like Damon Feldman used to come in here and try to run.
So let me get this straight.
Yeah,
you're wanting adults, to put on boxing gloves, against teenage girls.
Yeah, well, they don't get to put on any gear. But the girls get to put on the gloves and the
well, they got to protect themselves. They're going to be on the parade,
and then they both get to beat the shiznit out of the entire Colleen Committee.
On paper, it sounds good, but I think that when you're putting adults against teenagers in a fight club situation, there are going to be people that will complain.
I'm a little curious though about this this binding non-disclosure agreement. Why is it so secretive?
Because it's as important as like the recipe to Kentucky Fried Chicken.
No, it's not.
Or the recipe for Coca-Cola. Only two people in the world know what it is, and they can never travel together at the same time.
It's a popularity contest, is what it is.
No, it's not. It's
much
more than that. This is about education and about being on a float.
It's a popularity contest.
Listen, there's many categories that these young ladies are chosen by. The poise. I believe there's a talent portion, question and answer.
Why can't they just start the whole thing over again? Why don't you just start from scratch? We'll go back to the drawing board. You got 2 months before St. Patrick's Day happens.
Let's get
actually a month. You got a month before St. Patrick's Day happens. You have plenty of time.
Let's get somebody on the show who is in the know about this whole thing. We get to the bottom of it all.
No, they can't talk about it.
Well, Brian Clune certainly was willing to yap about it.
Well, maybe he wasn't part of the agreement. I don't know.
All right, we'll see. This is an ongoing investigation.
I haven't seen a scandal like this since Beulah the elephant kicked the bucket 6-7 years ago.
Hasn't West Springfield suffered enough?
Yes, they have.
It's 6:24 on Rock 102.
The Pearl Ear.
The people who work for you. Have you ever sat at their desk? In the chair that they sit in all day? Could you get any work done? Get them a Vito, the office chair from Conklin that's a lot like those super high-tech chairs. You know the ones. Yet the Vito costs a lot less. Sitting in a Vito chair, you can actually focus on your work instead of how uncomfortable your chair is. Conklin Office on Appleton and Holyoke. Sit in a Vito and get to work.
It's Thursday, and that means half-price apps at the Rumble Seat. Celebrate Valentine's Day at the Rumble Seat with Stella Glass Engraving at 6 and dueling pianos at 8. Coming Saturday, live music with Project 267. Book your tea time for the golf simulators at therumbleseat.com.
It's 626 of Bax and Nagle and Rock 102.
I don't know. Dan Brown should have the full forecast for you.
It's Free Music Friday tomorrow. You're going to be with the road crew at MGM, the Aria Ballroom, for Trailer Trash. Ever hear of them? Mm-mm. They get around a little bit. They're going to be there tomorrow night. That's going to be a great show, and you want to get there early. It's the Free Music Friday Winter Edition with Steve and the road crew tomorrow night, 6:30 to 8:30 at the Aria Ballroom at MGM from Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
I'm looking forward to that.
That'll be fun.
It should be busy there. And you know what? Being it busy, you should get there early, because what happens is, especially with a band like Trailer Trash, is you can only fit so many people in that Aria Ballroom. Quite a few people, but not as many as one might think. And if you get there too late, you'll be standing in line. So make sure you get there, probably I would say 6:30, 6:45 before the show starts.
Yeah, there may already be a line by then too. But, just be patient. People come and go. And hopefully everybody gets a chance to see Trailer Trash tomorrow night at MGM.
Well, there you go. Do you want to laugh?
I do want to laugh.
Well, we already talked about the Colleen contest over in West Springfield. What is there more to say, huh? Huh?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's Bax and Nagle's Joke of the Day
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you.
on Rock 102,
I make you laugh.
Springfield's classic rock.
Where do bad rainbows go?
I don't know, Steve. Where do bad rainbows go?
To Prism.
Prism.
It's a light sentence, but it gives them time to reflect.
Oh, my God.
You see?
One after
Yeah.
another.
How
there.
about that, huh?
Bax and Nagle in the morning on Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
Here's your Western Mass News First Alert.
31 with Bax and Nagle and Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by Gary Rome Hyundai Technicians. Get up to a $5,000 sign-on bonus right now. Learn more at GaryRomeHyundai.com/family. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. The Holyoke Fire Department is warning residents to avoid the area of High Street due to a building fire at an auto repair shop Wednesday afternoon. Because apparently this fire is so bad that it still has not been put out, or we just didn't have an update for it.
Probably not an update, but I would assume that if your car is going to get worked on today,
Yeah.
you might want to call ahead.
Holyoke Fire Captain David Rex said that the fire was reported around 12:49 p.m. at Ozzy's Auto Repair on High Street. Rex said that when arriving, firefighters could see heavy smoke and fire coming out of the windows and doors, and that a vehicle on the inside of the building was also on fire. When our crews responded, there was heavy smoke and flames coming out of the garage doors. It looked like one of the vehicles inside was on fire. They just said what he had to say, and then they quoted him saying it.
I see.
Fire crews were able to put out all the flames by 4 p.m. However, Rex said that it wasn't without some challenges. There were 2 roofs on the building, and the fire extensively damaged it, causing part of it to collapse. Another challenge was to extinguish any remaining hot spots. 4 fire hydrants were used in order to contain the fire from surrounding buildings. No injuries have currently been reported, and all occupants within the building were able to safely evacuate. Residents from the neighboring block had to evacuate for a period of time while the fire was being put out. Rex said that no one was hurt, and the fire and all occupants inside the building were able to get out safely. He says an investigation is now underway. 22 News, on their part, said they will update you on any information that becomes available.
Has that happened yet?
No, because they clearly, they said that the fire was put out, but then they said, at the top, stay away from the area.
Right, but they also said that they would update you with information. And here it is, 6:33 in the morning. And is there an update about whether or not the road is passable?
I got nothing here. I got nothing.
This is also the first time I've ever heard anybody report how many hydrants are used in a fire.
Well, it's like you ever write like an essay for high school, and you had to do it in like 500 words, but you could only come up with like 200 words.
Right.
So then you just kind of just rewrite the story
By adding additional
by
words?
adding additional words and saying it the same way as you said in the first 200 words, because now you're up to 400 words, and now you got to come up with an extra 100. So why not just add the fact in that you had multiple fire hydrants used in a situation like this?
I think we've all done that, Steve. That's why you use the words things like like ascertain or
Delineate.
Delineate. That exactly. But I've never heard the hydrant quotient for a fire. I've heard it's a 4-alarm fire. It's like it's a 4-hydrant fire. I've never heard that.
How many hydrants have you used in your last fire? 293-1021. A teenager was rescued on Tuesday after attempting to jump off the Memorial Bridge in Springfield. The Springfield police states that approximately 3 p.m., officers were sent to the Memorial Bridge for reports about a teenage girl attempting to jump off the bridge. The girl climbed over the railing, and around a dozen people stopped their cars and tried to help her. When officers arrived, some civilians were holding on to the teenager. An officer was able to pull her off the ledge and safely onto the sidewalk. The girl was taken to Bay State Medical Center for evaluation. So there's at least some good news.
Good.
The Springfield City Council voted to extend the residency requirement deadline for new city employees earlier this week. The move comes as housing remains an issue in the city. The Springfield City Council voted to extend the residency requirement deadline for municipal employees by 1 year. Right now, new hires only have 1 year to move to Springfield when taking on a city job, and this will give them 2 years in total to find residency in the city. These changes come as the housing crisis continues, making it difficult for many to find housing in the city. Before this, workers that were not able to follow the ordinance and find housing in that time frame were expected to either move or resign. 22 News spoke to Jose Delgado about the residency requirement Wednesday morning. He said, "I also understand the situation when everyone is having a hard time hiring, not just in the city of Springfield. Every industry and the real estate industry, everywhere is expensive. That was something my colleagues voted in favor for, so that is what we have now." But Delgado said at the same time he wants to ensure Springfield residents get an opportunity to work for the city. He said that there is enough talented people in Springfield that can take on these city roles.
Well, that may be true, but if you're going to force someone to move here, you got to make it possible for them to afford to buy a house. Or you got to figure out a way to make that happen. To me, it's like I have just never really fully understood the whole residency requirement. Just because I may live in a town doesn't mean I'm any less dedicated or sensitive to what's going on in the town I'm working in.
Well, but we've seen that happen before.
Yeah,
where people who don't live in this area don't really give a crap because it's just a 9-to-5 job to them. It's not really about, doing better for the city.
Sure.
It's more about, oh, this is a paycheck for me.
Well, if that's the case, then those people can be replaced. But should it be a requirement for the job? I don't necessarily believe that gives you, any more dedication to your job or not. I mean, I lived here in East Longmeadow for a while, for a number of years.
Yeah.
Now I'm living in Hamden. I am as dedicated to this job today as I was back then.
No, you're not.
Well, I wasn't that dedicated to begin with.
That's what I'm saying. You can't why do you think I move 45 minutes away?
Because you're not dedicated.
That's right. I don't want to be dedicated. I don't want to. Yeah. I don't. You think I want to move any closer to this place?
No. I don't see where there would be any incentive for you to do that.
Police in Connecticut continue their search for a suspect Wednesday morning who they say hit a police cruiser in a road rage incident on I-84 Tuesday morning. The Connecticut State Police received a call about a road rage incident involving a gun, according to WTNH. While looking for the suspect, police say that the driver hit a cruiser before taking off. The trooper was not injured. Police later found the suspect's car at a rest stop in Southington without him in it, and they've been searching for the suspect ever since. They haven't found him yet.
Is this a rest stop that has I don't know, like a restaurant inside or just a bunch of brochures and stuff?
I don't know. Connecticut rest stops suck.
They're not great.
You ever go to the ones on the Merritt Parkway?
Yeah.
They're like tiny little places.
I know.
They don't offer a whole lot.
You know what's got great rest stops?
Yeah.
The great state of Ohio. Oh, man. They're like shopping malls with extra chairs.
I want to know where the best place is. Where's the reviews on the, Pickle Park up there in Holyoke, right off the 90. That's not really a rest stop. It's more of a scenic viewing area.
Right.
And there's some stuff that goes on there on the side of the highway.
Well, Steve, I can't qualify that with any real knowledge of what goes on over there. But it would be nice to have like a Zaggett's book of great rest stops.
Yeah, where's the Michelin?
Like the Michelin star, rating of our. Because I would love to know,
where's the best HJs in Connecticut? And it goes by category about different acts you could do.
Sure.
Where's the best mouth action? Is
Well,
that in Southington? All right.
I'm a little disappointed in the Charlton rest stop.
Well, yeah. There was nothing going on there. That place was closed for a while. Then it reopened, saying it was going to be bigger than it was, and it really was the
it's
same
not any
place.
better than it was.
Police, there are 3 schools in Southington, Oshana, Strong Elementary Schools, and Kennedy Middle School were placed in a secure mode as precaution and later returned to normal. So if you were worried about the schools being impacted by that.
I'm all right with it.
He seems like a guy. He wouldn't go to Kennedy. He'd go to Lee Harvey Oswald Middle. Those kids over there are angry.
Yeah, they really got something to say.
You should see the rivalry that they have between the 2 football teams. We're going to blow your heads off next week.
That's right.
You wait till the big homecoming game.
That's right. And the field posts, the goal posts are behind the grassy knoll.
Also in Southington police are attempting to identify a shoplifting suspect. They say the male suspect allegedly shoplifted $950 worth of Dyson vacuum cleaners from Target. You mean one Dyson vacuum cleaner from Target? The incident happened around 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday evening. The suspect was seen leaving the area in a Nissan SUV. You ever? I have a friend who owns one of those Dyson ones.
Yeah,
those things are pretty awesome. They're actually a pretty good vacuum. However, the $500 price tag for one of them is not really worth. I'd rather buy the $86 one from Target.
Yeah, but I'd rather have one that works. And if the Dyson is the top of the line Cadillac model, sometimes investing is wise.
My late wife used to hang them from the porch, like the vacuums.
In the porch?
Yeah, we would buy a vacuum, and every couple of years, the vacuum would So
it'd be like a vacuum museum almost.
Not even a museum. I would know that it was time for me to go buy a new vacuum when I came home and it was hanging from the second-story porch. It was shaming all the other appliances, and I'd have to leave it up until I brought a new appliance home to show what could happen to you if you decide to go off the rails here one day.
I see. Good planning.
Yeah, it was a sacrifice.
Yeah.
There was a lot of sacrifice going on there. God bless that Eureka.
No kidding.
May he rest in peace now. Probably in a landfill somewhere. It's like the Jimmy Hoffa of vacuum cleaners.
We thought this poor Kirby would last forever until Hoover came in town.
Right. There's a Vietnamese place in Australia that hands out custom R-rated fortune cookies.
Really?
Customers love it. So they recently ordered a new batch for Valentine's Day, but the fortune cookie company made a big mistake. They got the messages right, but accidentally shipped them out to other restaurants that bought normal fortune cookies. People who got the fortunes were quite upset. Here's the type of thing they got when they cracked open the cookie. Not all of them were dirty. One said, "You are capable of great things, but all you do is look at your phone all day. You won't be that great. Sorry."
All right.
But there was, here's one that was dirty. It said, "The year of the snake bears good fortune. Your divorce is coming soon." Then it ended by saying their spouse only married you for your money, you ugly C-word. The restaurant that ordered them found out about it when the company emailed to say that they weren't doing swear words anymore. The restaurant owner said it was their mistake, not hers, but they said they're not taking any chances. They'll still do silly messages or even rude ones, just no profanity. That's what people got really upset about.
That's too bad, because that's part of the fun of going to a Chinese restaurant.
I would have welcomed something like that.
Yeah, so, mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, usually it's something like so predictable.
I mean, you give
saving money will help you become rich.
Yeah, you give like your G-rated ones to the kids, but your X-rated or R-rated ones to the adults. Easy.
I used to like the ones that there was in Minnesota. I remember reading a story about how they would have. There was a Chinese restaurant that would just put like normal things in there, like you will change your oil within the next 3,000 miles, like logical things that would happen to you.
Right.
Yeah. Make sure you will be changing the batteries in your smoke alarm every 6 months.
Yeah, I think that's good. That's just good advice.
But I would love the C word inside my fortune cookie.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah. Your Pioneer Valley forecast today is going to be a mix of whatever this is out there for a little while, and then cloudy with a high of 39. Tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds with a high of 31. It's 33 in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Oh, yeah.
This is not a rebel song. This is Sunday Bloody...
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock. 6:51, and the Rolling Stones are Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Mix of crap out there this morning. Be careful driving. Lots of delays and closings already this morning. High of 39. Tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds with a high of 31. It's 33 right now in downtown Springfield.
Steve and the road crew this Saturday are going to be at Camping World in West Hatfield for their big, fat open house from noon to 2. Enjoy fun, food, and shop special pricing on the best selection of new and used RVs. This is the time of year to get it. Plus, you can enter to win a brand spanking new RV. Plus, Nagle and the road crew will have great Rock 102 prizes to hand out. It's this Saturday, 12 to 2 with Steve at Camping World in West Hatfield, 188 West Street, Route 5 in West Hatfield from Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I like checking out all those RVs.
That's what we do for fun. We kind of like surf the internet looking for what else is out there.
Because one day I'm going to buy one. One day
I'm telling you,
and it'll be my retirement prize.
I absolutely love it, and the camp opens up in May. Can't wait. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah. What else is going on? You got anything else going on?
Well, I can tell you we have a couple of interviews this morning. We got a mystery guest around 8:45. I don't want to tell you who it is because that would then spoil the mystery. And then next hour, we're going to be talking to Sydney Washington. She is a stand-up comic going to be at the Roar Comedy Club tomorrow, Saturday night. So that'll be a great show.
I don't even know who the mystery guest is.
You don't?
Who set this up?
I don't know. Special people.
What kind of special people?
Top men set it up. I'll let you know who it is in a little bit.
Is it Dave Coombs?
No.
Are you sure?
It's not anybody who's ever worked here.
That would just be a mystery. That wouldn't be.
The mystery is why would we have it?
Yeah, right.
Why would it even happen at all?
Right. I like it. Hey, if you're a truck guy, here's something you may not have realized. The Ford F-150 has been the best-selling vehicle in America for 42 straight years.
That long, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was introduced 77 years ago, but for more than 4 decades, no vehicle has been able to dethrone it at the top until now. According to new data from JATO Dynamics, the Toyota RAV4 has finally displaced the Ford F-150 and is the best-selling vehicle in America. Go see my good buddy Riley Campbell over at Leah Toyota Wilbraham. Make sure you get one of them things.
Yeah, it is a popular car, and for people who don't want to go, jump full into a truck because trucks are not necessarily inexpensive. The RAV4 is a good choice.
I would never buy another F-150 again.
Really?
After what I went through with that?
Oh, that's right.
That thing had $15,000 worth of warranty work that it needed to be done, whether it be leaky valves or oil. The oil pans are made of plastic on those things. Oh, are you moving something that
yes, I am.
Probably shouldn't be?
Yeah, I am. Yeah,
but I'm just talking about my personal experience with it. I would never personally buy one of those F-150s again. And then after the warranty was up, they're like, oh yeah, you're gonna need another $6,000 for this 4-wheel drive differential.
I'm sure it was just the one model you had. Many people find a great deal of reliability from those trucks.
A Monday, Friday car?
Yes.
You either bought it on a Monday where everybody was hungover, or you bought it on a Friday where the one they put together, they were all getting out early for the day.
Yeah, buy a Tuesday, Wednesday car.
It's Jeans Friday and Hawaiian Shirt Day, so make sure you wear your Hawaiian shirt and jeans this Friday. Forget about putting that extra bolt in the engine.
It's 6:55 on Rock 102.
And now, Bax's View from the Couch, brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware, Winter Storm Headquarters, before and after the storm.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Folks, I'm sure many of you heard the phrase that denial ain't just a river in Egypt. For the purposes of this discussion, let's assume that's true. But common everyday denials are one thing. It's an entirely different thing when those denials are fueled by staggering delusions. Those are thoughts that don't just deny the limitations of reality. Those are the thoughts that create a new reality that simply does not exist. Which brings me to the Dallas Cowboys. As many of you know, the Dallas Cowboys were once a professional football team owned by one of the most delusional multi-billionaires in all of professional sports. For years, we've heard that this was the year for the Dallas Cowboys, or they were only just one step away from winning the Super Bowl again, which, as you point out, they have not been to in 30 years. Well, it isn't just Jerry Jones who's lost in a suspended treadmill of delusional thinking. Apparently, Dallas quarterback Dak Prescott has also begun guzzling the Kool-Aid. On Tuesday night, Dak spoke at an event in which he not only introduced the models who will be attending an upcoming fundraiser for sick children, he also announced his belief that based upon the way the Cowboys competed against the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles this season, he claims, quote, "We're so close." He then summarized his statements by saying, "It's our turn. It's on us." Folks, this is like when Jethro from the Beverly Hillbillies telling Uncle Jed that he wants to become a brain surgeon. Cowboys haven't been to the Super Bowl since Dak Prescott was 2 years old, 21 years before he was even drafted. And yet, this is your year with Brian Schottenheimer as your head coach, coming off a 7-10 season and missing the playoffs. This is the season where you all put it together? Listen, kid, I don't know if there's some sort of gas leak in your building or if you're strung out on edibles or what the hell's going on, but you have as much chance of going to the Super Bowl as the Boston Red Sox, and I can assure you that's not going to happen either. So cut it out with this nonsense, because you're not going anywhere, and neither is your lousy football team. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. You know, there's a woman in Westfield who's an authority on paint. Rachel at the Westfield Rocky. She's been there for over 20 years. If you need paint or advice, do what the people in Westfield do. Go talk to Rachel. Good people and rock solid service at every Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock at 7:09 and Billy Idol with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Mix of crap out there this morning, and once that ends, it's going to be mostly cloudy. There are delays in closing, so you can go look those up if you're wondering what's open and what's closed today. Tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds with a high of 31. It is 33 right now in downtown Springfield.
So let me give you a little heads up what's coming up this morning around 8:45. We're going to have a mystery guest on the phone with us. It's a mystery guest.
You play Guess Who?
Yeah, you can probably play the 20 questions, see if we can guess who it is. I kind of know who it is, but
Why are you so privileged to know who it is, and I wasn't allowed to?
Seniority.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
People that do the least around here get the most information?
I don't know what you're talking about. I work my fingers to the bone every single day.
Yes, and bone being something that we were talking about yesterday with ambidextrous hands.
That may be true, Steve, but a mystery guest coming up at 8:45. You do not want to miss that.
Well, at least we know who this one is.
Yes, Sydney Washington is an Emmy-nominated actress. She's a podcaster, a writer. She's been doing stand-up comedy for years. She's been profiled in Vanity Fair and the New York Times, and she's coming to Springfield. Excuse me, on Saturday night at the Roar Comedy Club, and she's on the phone with us right now. It's Sydney Washington. Good morning, Sydney. How are you?
Amazing. How are you?
Amazing. Boy, that's kind of coming out of the gates, kind of swinging, don't you think?
I had some coffee, so that's kind of amazing.
well, that's always a good start.
Yeah, it is.
But usually nobody says amazing when they're coming to Springfield, Massachusetts this weekend.
I'm going to have a coffee as well when I get there.
Yeah, and you may have to have a coffee when you're here, and maybe a coffee to go back to Brooklyn. So I was just reading up on you. Massachusetts is not unheard of territory for you. You went to the Clark University in Worcester, didn't you?
Yes, Worcester. Yes, I did.
Wow. This must be Saturday will be a big night out for you then.
I think I might head to Worcester right after Springfield just to swing by.
Yeah, Springfield is best viewed in your rearview mirror.
said it, not me.
No, listen,
we live here. We can make fun of it.
We can crap on our own territory. That's quite all right. But but you've done a lot of things. I mean, as I'm going through all your bio information, like, wow, you have been a very, very busy individual in comedy. I mean, not only just the Just for Laughs, but the people that you've written for, all the podcasting you've done. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I'm lucky to be continuously working and coming to Roar. That's the probably biggest credit I have right now.
Well, I mean, that's a lot of people's big credit.
Now, are you saying that because the check has not yet cleared, or are you truly meaning that?
I do mean it. I mean it. I'm so excited.
As soon as they sign that check, you're like, I can't wait to get out of this dump.
That's it. I'm going back to Worcester.
Where there's clean people out there.
I just hope you guys have a good mall. I want to go to the mall when I get there as well.
Yeah, we have the Holyoke Mall.
Holyoke Mall's not too far.
Not too bad.
Right up the street.
Oh, okay! Wow, awesome! I can't wait to go to Auntie Anne's.
Now, if you were here 2 years ago, we had a mall that had still an Orange Julius in it, and that was it.
No way!
Yeah.
Wait, but Orange Julius is pretty legendary, so we don't have that. We don't have that here in New York.
Yeah, but it wasn't even like a Soul Orange Julius. It was an Orange Julius Dairy Queen combo. Yeah, like they do these KFCs, Taco Bells, and Pizza Huts all in one.
Yeah. Well, like, listen, you would think that businesses that great and legendary could stand on their own without having to rely on a Dairy Queen to bail you out of problems, but that's not what happened. So tell us.
I'm not going to say anything because I might need Dairy Queen to get me out of some trouble in the future. So I'm not going to say too much.
All right, I have something to reveal to you. We had one Dairy Queen in the area after that place closed, and it's now called Dairy King. Like we're not supposed to know the difference.
I love a good rebrand, so I'm not going to be mad at that either.
that shows a lack of effort on somebody trying to come up with a good name for an ice cream place. Where you're just going to go with the king, not the queen.
Yeah, see, I see that as like almost like a coup d'etat takeover an entire monarchy of creamery products. That's dangerous.
Do you guys want me to come there? You guys are dragging it.
We just like to prepare everybody for what they're about to experience.
Listen, you know how it is. Like when you're from New York, and people who live in New York love New York, but you also can sometimes identify the things about New York that are not so great.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, the rats are opening the doors for me. I mean, everybody's pushing, trying to push people in front of the train. Yeah, it's crazy over here.
Yeah, see, we don't have that. But if we did, we'd start liking it a little bit more. We'd have a different appreciation for it. Because it's new.
Well, maybe I'll bring a couple of, ratatouilles over there.
Ooh, even better.
Hey, listen, my favorite viral video was years ago when that rat was carrying up like 3 pieces of pizza in its mouth up the staircase of the subway. That was pretty cool. We don't have that kind of action around here.
Well, people don't know the thing that we know secretly in New York. He was bringing the pizza to another rat that was a girl. I mean, what a gentleman.
Oh, that just says romance all over.
Yeah, and see that, and that's why a comedy show on Valentine's weekend with rats and love, it's a symbiotic relationship. It's amazing.
It goes hand in hand. You don't understand. Only New Yorkers get it.
Now, can we expect some relationship material during your show for the Valentine's Day weekend?
Of course. I think that it would be crazy to not talk about it because Valentine's Day is I think it's a holiday for people to make money, but also it's a time to reflect. So it'll be a lot of reflecting for me. I've lived a long time, so I have a lot of dating stories. So I can't wait to drop them off to y'all.
Can you give us a little preview of maybe one of them?
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy, but my life has changed like 180. Last year, I came back from, a crazy lesbian breakup, and I ended up like relapsing and going back to men for just a smidge. And man, it's terrible that I did it, but I'm glad that I did because the one guy went to his place and he didn't have electricity, and I was like, I will be gay for life. I need power. I need to charge my phone, sir. I'm out of here. It was the scared gay program. I was really happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, I would imagine going into somebody's apartment and them not having electricity. Because, well, first of all, if they haven't paid their electric bill, how are they even going to treat you to a nice dinner at a Dairy Queen / Orange Julius?
Yeah, it's something about the confidence of a straight man. It's like, I don't need electricity. Just go me over here and be comfortable. It don't matter. So it was crazy. But yeah, that turned my life around.
Well, you know, I can listen. I've been a man virtually my entire life, and I got to tell you, you probably made a better choice. Most of us are absolutely disgusting and should not. We really shouldn't be in relationships. I don't think we're designed to do it right and to keep women happy.
Well, you know, I hate to say this on the record, but women are insane as well. So I feel like it doesn't matter what gender you are. We all are a hot mess. So
yes, but our knuckles are scraped from dragging them across the ground like the Neanderthals that we are.
I guess you're right.
Yeah,
I guess if I am going to deal with somebody, at least they have like a moisturized body. You're right.
Absolutely.
Well, if you had any single friends, I partially paid my electric bill this month, so.
Oh my God!
You're right. You're on the plan.
I'm on a payment plan.
Right.
All right.
Okay, Klarna with the electricity bill. I got it.
Yeah, there you go.
Sydney Washington's got to be at Roar Comedy Club this Saturday for a great comedy show. Sydney, it's great to talk to you. Best of luck while you're here in Springfield, and we hope to have you back.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Sydney Washington with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. To Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 7:25 with Alice Cooper with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Since we have yesterday's forecast from Dan Brown, I'll give you the current forecast. A bunch of slop out there this morning with a high of 39 today. Tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds with a high of 31. Another winter event coming up on Saturday night into Sunday, so that'll be fun. It's 33 in downtown Springfield. This week on Baxy's Musical Podcast, my guest has been Hugo Burnham, the drummer for the band Gang of Four. Very, very important post-punk band from the late 70s into the 80s. They are about to go on their final tour, and it's coming. It's actually starting here in New England, including at the Crystal Ballroom on the 20th of April. Really interesting guy. He is a professor at Endicott College when he's not playing with the band, but like I said, the band is going to retire, and he talks all about that. You'll find it on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, the Rock 102 YouTube channel, rock102.com, as well as the Rock 102 app. And it's all brought to you by Metro Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram at Chicopee and Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock. So I'm just reading a story about how superintendents decide how to close school. You know, for like an inclement weather day like many of them did today, or delays or whatever you got going on.
Right.
Long before the first snowflake falls, a collection of group texts light up as superintendents across Massachusetts ask each other the same pressing question. Are you canceling school tomorrow? I can't even stand being a part of a group text on a kid's sports team. I can't even imagine what the group text is like on the superintendent's line.
Now, what happens if a new superintendent gets hired? Like the person in East Hampton, for example.
Yeah, and not everybody has iMessage. So, some have Androids and some have iPhones.
So it just shows up as a number and not a name or a contact.
And then somebody, when they like I'm canceling school tomorrow, and then somebody hearts the message, then everybody gets the notification that you hearted the message.
Yeah, new phone. Who is this? I don't know who this is.
And then they go off on topic. Did anybody see that sale going on at Lowe's this weekend?
I mean, isn't that how it always works?
Yeah, it's always something that goes off topic, right? I mean, can you imagine the one Lynn Clark was part of? She was like, yeah, you know what? They said 5 to 6 inches, but I only got 2 to 4 from the chief police chief candidate in Chicopee last night.
I bet those were some text messages that might be worth seeing.
He was wrong.
Yeah. Obviously. It's 7:28 at Rock 102.
Here's your...
You know why.
With Bax and Nagle on Rock 102, it's time for news brought to you by Gary Rome Hyundai. Technicians get up to a $5,000 sign-on bonus right now. Learn more at GaryRomeHyundai.com/family. His local radio icon, Steve Nagle.
There's some bad weed going around, man.
Is this the stuff we were talking about that may have had like mold or mildew on it?
I'm not sure if this is the same story. Well, I think it's a different story. A marijuana cultivator in Hatfield is suing a neighboring farm for millions, claiming they recklessly sprayed pesticides, damaging their cannabis crops multiple times. Attorney Timothy Swain is representing River Valley growers out of Hatfield in a $17 million lawsuit against Norse Farm in Whately. Smoke greatly in the Whately.
Right.
Swain said it all started back in 2022 following the fall harvest when River Valley growers sent in their product for mandatory testing, and it came back that their entire 47,000-pound marijuana crop was tainted by pesticides that allegedly drifted over from nearby Norse Farms, a produce grower based in Whately whose fields surround river valleys. Pesticides are not labeled for use on cannabis. Therefore, they are prohibited from using them, so any cannabis that comes back tainted with these pesticides must be destroyed. Swain says as a result of these pesticides, the Mass Department of Agriculture Resources started an investigation and found that it had come from Norse Farms. Swain said that the report was immediately appealed by Norse Farms, and that has continued for about a year and a half. Swain added that that led to the investigation being redone by MDAR, came up with the same result that pesticides came from Norse Farms, who allegedly allowed them to illegally drift off property. And this video was taken by a neighbor who was also later used as proof to show that pesticides from Norse Farms allegedly spraying onto the property of River Valley growers. I once had a neighbor that killed my apple trees because he put weed killer down on his side of the fence.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was too lazy to cut them with a weed whacker. And then
put like Roundup down over there?
Yeah, and then not realizing how groundwater works.
Or how root systems work.
It killed two of the three apple trees that I had up there.
Now you got no apples.
Nope. And you couldn't even eat the ones that were on the one that was still alive, because you don't want to eat that.
They could have been tainted apples.
Yeah, I'm all about not eating the cancer tumor right out of the middle of the apple.
Yeah, no, I can understand that.
And they're hoping to resolve and settle this issue with Norse Farms as soon as possible. But tainted weed.
Ah, boy.
Tainted bud. Is that what you were saying the other day?
Yes, tainted bud.
What was the band?
That would have been Soft Cell.
Yeah. Tainted bud. Oh, tainted bud.
Don't bogart, please, the tainted bud.
The city of West Springfield's most prestigious pageant was cast into chaos when the wrong Colleen was crowned during a public ceremony at Sturleton Tavern Saturday night. 5 finalists were vying for the top spot in the annual Irish Heritage Contest. Because of a clerical mistake, the wrong contestant was named in error, leaving the true winner out in the cold. The pageant is hosted by the West Springfield St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee. At least 2 committee leaders reportedly submitted their resignations over the fiasco. Committee member Lynn McCarthy did not respond to a request for comment. The winner receives a $3,000 college scholarship and a premier spot on the float in the Holyoke St. Patrick's Day Parade. The event's MC, Town Councilor Brian Clune, said he was given an envelope by organizers when the moment of truth was near. They handed me envelope number with the number 3, with no corresponding name, and then I referred to another handwritten note I was given, and Charlotte Brooks was listed as number 3. I feel bad for the girls who were caught up in this.
Well, it's a downright outrage. You know, this is you mentioned it before. It's very much like when Steve Harvey butchered the Miss America pageant or Miss Universe, Miss whatever that pageant was. Now you got someone, whose dreams have been shattered because their name was erroneously not mentioned.
In a lengthy public statement on its Facebook page, the parade committee owned up to the error, noting that at a meeting following the pageant, Brooks volunteered to relinquish the crown. During the meeting, the board met with all the contestants and their parents to review the situation. During this meeting, the contestant who was mistakenly crowned graciously stepped down, allowing the contestant who was intended to be called take her place as Colleen. I think she should still get the $3,000.
Someone's got to come up with $3,000, though.
I mean, if you're gracious enough to step down and go, it wasn't even about being on the parade float. It was about the $3,000 that I'm going to get screwed out of now.
You know, having walked through the parade, I mean, I got to tell you, if it was between being on the parade and getting a $3,000 check, I'd take the check every single time.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing wrong with a parade, but that's just a parade.
You can just get in your own car and drive the parade route behind the float and wave out the window.
Yeah, I could drive through Holyoke anytime I wanted.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do to stop me.
As long as I got $3,000 in my pocket.
Well, I'm not driving through Holyoke with $3,000 in my pocket.
The statement did not name the legitimate winner and asked that residents not discuss the matter on social media. Then why did you put it on social media for people to discuss?
Because some people can't shut their big fat mouths.
It also affirmed Clune's version of how the pageant went off the rails. Judges are required to include both the contestant's name and number in the envelope. However, in this instance, the envelope contained only a contestant number from a preliminary event. The contestants' position in the lineup were apparently outdated. It's unclear how or when the committee realized its mistake. The mix-up was reminiscent of when game show talk show host Steve Harvey crowned the wrong contestant as Miss Universe in 2015, and when Faye Dunaway announced the wrong winner for Best Picture at the 2017 Academy Awards.
You know, listen, I know how serious they take this Colleen stuff. It's serious business. And if you're a former Colleen, you know that you hold on to that for virtually the rest of your life.
Yeah.
These young ladies, are caught in the middle of a fiasco. One has been named, and the one who should have won was not. You're right, Steve. It would be the prudent thing to make sure that both of these candidates get a $3,000 scholarship.
I would say that would be the best way to settle it.
It would be. I don't know where they're going to come up with that money, but you know what? Either a GoFundMe or a bake sale or sell magazines door to door or maybe try to sell solar panels might be a way of doing it. But they're going to have to resolve this somehow.
I really... How did it come? If they're all like on the hush hush about it, because they're all like they have these binding non-disclosure agreements and stuff. It wasn't publicly realized that the wrong winner was chosen.
Yeah,
It was only until afterwards. So somebody broke their non-disclosure agreement at some point. Because
unless there was
how
someone
would that person even know?
Right, or unless there was someone who didn't actually sign it.
And said, psst, guess what?
You're not going to believe this.
You were the actual winner. What? Oh, she can have it. As long as I get my $3,000.
Well,
as long as I get my money next Friday.
Bitch better have my money.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. This is I still don't understand, and even the article points out that there's no explanation of why they have these non-disclosure agreements.
I couldn't tell you. I know whenever we do a contest, we don't require that.
No, you can tell people.
We can't keep our mouth shut on anything.
Isn't it required that we be transparent about how winners were chosen and all that stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. We have to be.
So
otherwise, you're talking about lawsuits, and I wouldn't be surprised if someone gets a head full of steam and talks to, John Heyman or Marquis Salamone.
I'm wondering if this kid who just relinquished it going, whatever, like, I didn't even want to do this to begin with.
Have you ever been emotionally injured in a beauty contest?
Yeah, where's Marquis Salamone when you need him?
You may be entitled to compensation.
I bet you that other contestant's going to be choking on a sandwich when she finds out that who she hired has a lawyer. Brian Clune and Brian Griffin. Well, she hired Marky. Is that what we've come to? We've hired ambulance chasing lawyers to go after the Colleen.
They're just lawyers,
committee.
Steve.
But they also like to chase ambulances.
I don't know if Marquis Salamone has ever put on the sneakers and tried chasing after ambulances.
No,
that's not what he does.
He's settled enough cases that he has somebody else do it for
that
him.
may very well be.
Yeah.
But he will represent you well.
Do you think John Heyman actually picks up a motorcycle? No, he's got people that do that now. Once you build up an empire like that, you don't need to be lifting a finger.
Okay.
Maybe a scooter. I can see him picking up a scooter.
Yeah,
but
right.
not a full-on motorcycle.
Not at his age.
Right. Yeah, that's a lot of work. You can't have a guy doing that kind of strenuous activity.
I mean, how does he keep himself insured?
I have no idea. Cops in Fort Myers are searching for a guy who tooled around on a riding lawnmower last Friday and destroyed multiple mailboxes. Several security cameras got it on video. It looks like he may have been drunk.
Really?
Yeah. He crashed into one mailbox so hard it flipped him over the front of the lawnmower. Then he stumbled around in a ditch for a while, hopped back on the lawnmower, and then drove off.
Wouldn't a weed whacker been better for the edging than this?
I would have thought so. It's not clear how many mailboxes he destroyed, but police are still trying to ID him. All they know that he's a Steelers fan. He left a Steelers hat and a pair of sunglasses behind. They're not sure if he was hitting the mailboxes on purpose or if he was just that drunk. It looks like maybe both. I think if you're riding a lawnmower and hitting mailboxes, you probably are under the influence.
Or aggressive, like you're having a really bad day.
Yeah.
And you want to take it out on a mailbox.
That is a bad day.
It is very bad.
You don't nap, right?
Not usually, no.
80% of people take naps, even if it's just for a brief one, before bed.
Before bed?
A napetizer? Is that what you're doing? There's new research out there that says the perfect nap time is 1:42 p.m. Yes, but it's all dependent on what your schedule is. If you are following that typical, let's say you work a 9 to 5 job.
Yeah, you can't just take a nap in the middle of the
right.
day.
And the optimum nap length is 51 minutes.
If you told your boss, and I'm not talking about you and I because our hours are crazy, but if the average guy went up to their boss and say, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna have to miss the staff lunch today. It interrupts my nap."
Yeah.
What do you think your boss would say after something like that?
I don't know. Nobody's called me out on it yet. I'm usually sleeping throughout this entire show.
Hey, listen, I slept through most of the early 2000s.
If a nap goes longer than that at around an hour and a half, it can do more harm than good for your momentum and energy levels. And if it goes on for 2.5 hours, then it's officially a full sleep session. You know, I when I was in the airport over the summer and I saw those, they have these things where you can pay to go take a nap. They're like little pods.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, well, that's a good idea. And then as I was researching them, we talked about this a little bit. People were using them for, like, sex pods. So, I don't want to go into that the back of the taxi cab that Robert De Niro was driving around in.
No, I understand
It's kind of like the movie theater thing we were talking about the other day.
Yes.
The movie theater might be clean at the matinee, but by the time 9 o'clock comes around,
your shoes are stuck to the ground.
There's enough grease from the popcorn boxes all over the seats.
Disgusting.
Yeah, it is disgusting. The people at NASA have agreed about this nap thing, though. They did a study and found the perfect length for a nap is 26 minutes because you're only going through the first 2 stages of sleep in that time.
See, I feel worse after a nap.
It depends.
Yeah.
If I only get 20 minutes, I'm good. If anything longer than that,
yeah.
This is why you're supposed to drink a cup of coffee before you take a nap.
Is that true?
Yeah, because by the time the caffeine sets in,
okay.
You have slept, yet you are now waking up from the nap.
I don't know, man. I've tried it. I've tried to make it a habit, and it just didn't work for me.
Your Pioneer Valley forecast today, a mushy mix out there with a high of 39. Tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds with a high of 31. It's 33 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Oh, yeah.
And Aerosmith with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Mix of crap out there with a high of 39 tomorrow. Less crappy with some sun. 31, 33 right now, downtown Springfield.
Rock 102 is teamed up with the Springfield RV Camping and Outdoor Show to hook you up with the gear you need to get outside and go camping. It's a prize package that includes a 6-person tent, travel pillows, 2 solar lanterns, a couple of outdoor rocking chairs, a 45-quart cooler, an Easy Cot, and 2 sleeping bags. All you have to do is sign up at rock102.com for your chance to win. And if you want to increase your chances of winning, Stop by the Springfield RV Camping and Outdoor Show at the Big E this weekend. Starts tomorrow through Sunday, when you can enter again and get 5 bonus entries. We'll choose one winner at random on the 18th, who will win Pat Kelly's camping gear from Springfield's RV Camping and Outdoor Show and Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock.
What I know you always talk about how many days you have left to retire. What year is that?
2031.
Oh, well, you'll only have about a year to enjoy that.
Are we being hit by a meteorite or something?
Yes, we are.
All right.
Astronomers have been keeping a close eye on an asteroid between 130 and 300 feet long that has a very small chance of crashing into the Earth in less than 8 years. And as they learn more about the asteroid 2024 YR4's trajectory, the odds of impact are expected to slightly rise before it's expected, and hoped that they will fall to zero. But there's no, guarantee about any of that.
There's a lot of stuff in space that could crash right into the Earth.
Astronomers at the Planetary Society said. Remember the Planetarium. The process that has started to unfold since the asteroid was first spotted late last year on a potential collision course with Earth in 2032. For a time, the odds of impact fluctuated around 1% before suddenly jumping in recent days to 2.3%.
Well, that's almost doubling its chances.
Yes, it is. And that could cause some problems.
You didn't realize, though, Steve, there's still like a 98%, maybe slightly less than 98% chance that it won't. That it may just graze us.
But there's always
by a couple 100,000 miles.
Chance that it will.
2% chance is a pretty slim chance.
The unsettling odds are the highest any asteroid has had of impacting Earth in more than 2 decades since the infamous Apophis was first discovered and later ruled out as a threat. But astronomers still aren't too concerned yet, as they insist that you shouldn't be either. Well, how do I know if they're telling the truth or not? I mean, obviously, you wouldn't want to panic everybody by telling them that, hey, this thing is going to hurt. You might be wiped out. We've seen it happen before in different parts of the world. You ever see the big crater in Russia?
Sure.
That has, all the... Luckily, there was nobody really around that area, but all of the vegetation was completely destroyed.
Right.
If this thing hit anywhere near a city,
you'd
knock everything out.
Well, the thing is, Steve, you got, 6 years? It's 6 years between now and when this thing is likely to hit.
What's the point of going on?
7 years? Well, I mean, couldn't we just get out of the way?
No. And there was another article that I read this morning about, why don't we have the technology to blow this up? Like can't we send Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck?
Yeah, Bruce Willis would be a real good choice right now.
Yeah, not right now. I'm talking about like 1996 Bruce Willis. Going up there and drilling a hole because he's an oil. Remember when he used to work on the oil rigs? That Bruce Willis?
I do. Yeah.
And Ben Affleck was like banging his daughter.
Yeah.
And then they all came together at the end. I mean, they all made up at the end.
Yes. Right.
I'm thinking
they all converged.
Yeah, I'm thinking of 2 different movies. But,
maybe.
Yeah. But they can't drill a hole into it and blow it up. Now they have some technology that I guess can do something like that, but they say it's too late to do this now to this thing, because by the time they would reach it,
you're talking about like 2032.
Yeah.
All right, so it's more than 6 years, like 7 years away.
Yeah, we would have had to start like 4 years ago getting this thing in order to blow it up and knock it off its course.
Is there a right-of-way law? I mean, should I contact my insurance company? Again, if I saw like a train coming at me, I'd probably step out of the way. I don't see why we can't do that.
I don't think you can just move the Earth like that.
Well, let's say we project it's going to hit France. I'm just throwing a country out there.
If it hits France,
if I'm nowhere near France, I think I'm okay.
Listen, Americans are only concerned about us. It's not about the rest of the world.
Yeah, well,
as long as it doesn't hit anywhere here within the continental United States, I think we're fine.
Then we're fine.
Yeah,
it's all good. It hits France. Okay, well, that's too bad, but we're okay on this side.
You know who I can't stand?
Who?
The Dutch.
I
hate the Dutch.
And their wooden shoes.
Yeah, and your wooden shoes and your bicycles everywhere. I wouldn't be sad if
The only thing that ever came out of good from the Dutch is that Dutch oven thing.
Oh, yeah, well, that's...
And I'm not even talking about the pot you cook soup in.
What?
It's 7:57 at Rock 102.
Call or text us anytime. Bax's View from the Couch. Brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. Winter Storm Headquarters. Before and after the storm.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Well, that certainly took long enough. As some of you may have heard by now, after months of teasing, haggling, negotiating, and beating around the bush, former Houston Astro free agent third baseman Alex Bregman has agreed to a 3-year contract with the Boston Red Sox. That's right. The guy who Alex Cora has been salivating over during this entire offseason will find himself moving from third to second base and taking home $40 million a year to do it. That's right, a 3-year deal worth $120 million. Now, you might say, damn, that's a lot of money for a guy who has to learn a whole new position, to which I would say, poppycock. According to Alex Cora, who coached him back when he was still learning how to set up video cameras and bang on trash cans, Alex Bregman can play pretty much anywhere he wants, except for third in Boston. As far as the money's concerned, yeah, $40 million is a lot of money, but it also happens to be $10 million more than anybody else is willing to offer the guy. He also has 2 opt-out clauses, so if things don't work out, he can leave and walk out the door. But why would anyone want to leave the team that's just added Garrett Crochet, Walker Buehler, and Aroldis Chapman in the offseason, or a team that's managed by a guy he's known for years, and Alex Cora? These are tough questions, of course, and if it were me, I'd have 120 million reasons not to leave, ever. But only time will tell. All I can say is that somehow, somebody has finally waved some smelling salts into the face of John Henry, because it appears as though he's finally regained consciousness and has agreed to start spending money again. Because for the last couple of seasons, think about organizing a wellness check on the guy, because I wasn't entirely sure that he was still alive. Well, alive he is, and his bank account appears to have caught a second wind, and frankly, the whole situation has got me aroused. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. The DeWalt $99 pool tool sale is going on at Rocky's. Get a DeWalt circular saw, a reciprocating saw, a DeWalt cordless grinder, cordless compactor drill kit, and the lithium-ion battery. Get one, get them all, $99 each at your neighborhood Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock. It's 8:10, and Fleetwood Mac with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It's going to be a mix of mess out there for a little while until just cloudy skies today. And then tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds with a high of 31. It is 33 right now in downtown Springfield.
Got a mystery guest coming up later on this hour.
A mystery guest? Who is that?
I don't know. It could be anybody, Steve, but there are very few of us who are in the know. And I know, and you'll have to figure it out.
Today's the last day to go get the Valentine's Day gift that you might want to get for your significant other. Mm-hmm. I have prided myself not having to do that, which I'm. It saves so much money.
Your loneliness is the best thing that's ever happened to you.
It honestly is. It really is. It took me a while to realize that. But it's like the money I'm saving left and right, not going out spending money on things.
Listen, you don't have to tell me. Your loneliness sounds on the surface like a bad thing, but it does sound like a good thing.
Yeah,
financial solvency. That's more companionship than you ever possibly need.
That's the best way to do it.
That's right.
So tomorrow's Valentine's Day. If you celebrate, you should probably already have a gift by now, unless you're one of those, I'm going into CVS at 10:30 in the morning to go pick up that box of Russell Stovers and a little teddy bear.
Well, that was my plan for today.
But the rationale behind them is a little shaky. Here's what the best gifts are, according to, this is a survey.
Hold on, I wasn't even ready for this.
Survey said watches.
Watches.
Yeah, this site's expert says a watch represents the gift of time. By gifting a watch, you'd be promising your partner that you'll be present for them.
No, that's not what you said.
Actually, I buy myself a watch to realize how much time I have now that I don't have to go out and buy watches for anybody.
See, we both have Apple watches, so I'm not going to buy her another watch if she's already got one.
Yeah, right.
She wears it every day.
Chocolate. The gift of chocolate can be traced back to the Mayans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look how that turned out for them, huh?
No kidding. Between that and their stupid clocks and their wristwatches, that never worked out.
They viewed cacao, the main ingredient in chocolate, as a heart opener.
Well, if you have enough chocolate, they probably will need a bypass.
Probably. Scarves.
Scarves.
They represent a strong spiritual connection.
Uh-huh.
They show faith in the relationship and a desire to keep each other warm and protected.
Yeah, I don't think that'd go over all that great. A scarf.
A scarf.
What an afterthought.
Kitchenware. Despite the backlash against presents which are seen as functional or boring, kitchen utensils can let your partner know that you want to nourish each other's souls and create something together. Or tell that broad to get back in the kitchen and make me something. I guess
and if you're really nice, maybe I'll get you a new vacuum for your birthday.
Yeah, that can be viewed as two different things.
I think that could blow up in your face.
If you buy a utensil to say, hey, we can make a souffle together, that might be different than saying, hey, I bought you this mixer because I want you to make something special for our Valentine's Day dinner.
I thought this KitchenAid stand-up mixer would make you want to cook for me more.
Now, here's the worst. Yeah, and by the way, you can tell us what the worst Valentine's Day gift you ever got at 413-293-1021. We'll open up the phone lines to this madness. The worst Valentine's Day gifts are lingerie. Since underwear covers most of our private areas, it represents a desire to hide something. Your partner may be sending you a message that they're keeping something from you.
Like what?
I don't know. So I'll just give you some saran wrap, and you can wrap yourself in that.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Alcohol. The word alcohol comes from the Arabic word alcohol, which links to both early cosmetics and spirits. The word ghoul derives from the same source. Okay, but what if it was like a really pricey bottle of something?
Yeah, maybe like she like wine or something like that.
Or a Viva Klukak or whatever I said during that Table and Vine commercial.
But if you came home with a bottle of Ripple, then I can understand why that might not go over so hot.
Bath salts. Salt is a cleanser and a purifier.
This is bad?
I guess so. Well, what if you want to get high together? I mean, hey.
A lot of couples do.
Yeah. That's some You want some crazy sex? Bath salt sex.
Yeah, it's when you go outside in the freezing cold naked.
Yeah, salt is a cleanser and a purifier. So the gift of bath salts will help rid the receiver of any negativity in a relationship. But if you are a toxic partner, you will be cleansed away. Who is writing this?
Some idiot who probably is not even in a relationship.
This is not to be confused with bath bombs. And I did see this. Papa John's has a special garlic sauce bath bomb that they've released.
So you smell like garlic.
So you smell like the garlic dipping sauce.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's sexy.
If you spill garlic sauce all over you, would you consider it a bad thing and want to take a shower immediately, or would it be such a good thing that you wouldn't want to shower for a week?
Well, I like garlic. I just don't want to smell like it.
Papa John's thinks you may want to smell like their buttery garlic sauce, so they've created the limited edition bath bomb to make it easier for you. They're not selling it, though. They're holding a contest where they're awarding it to, quote, select super fans who quote, share their love for the dipping sauce on social media.
Super fans of Papa John's pizza.
No, not the pizza. The garlic dipping sauce.
The dipping sauce.
They want you to go online and let them know how badly you need that garlic butter sauce bath.
Well, I'm out.
It's a kind of a dumb marketing stunt in a way, but it could save you a lot of money. Without the special garlic sauce bath bombs, it would apparently cost you $475, enough of the sauce to bathe in it. Well, how much do you really need to smell like the buttery garlic sauce?
Probably not a whole hell of a lot.
No, you probably only need like what, one or two little canisters and that stuff?
Yeah, two cups of garlic sauce. You're going to smell like that for hours.
You know what you could do? You could go find somebody with a Restaurant Depot membership and go get a big giant gallon bottle of Whirl, because that's exactly what the garlic butter sauce is.
Whirl?
You ever see Whirl before?
No.
It's basically like something you can fry things in. It's like a shortening kind of thing, but it's buttery.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's very buttery.
Sounds delicious.
It actually is pretty good. I mean, that's how we used to make the chicken wings up in where I was Syracuse. We had the you dip that, you pour that in with some Red Hot, and that's how you'd make the wings.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, instead of melting butter.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Well,
See, these are the
learn.
things you know. These are the things you learn.
I'm learning stuff all the time.
And have you gotten a Valentine's Day present yet?
We've been kind of giving ourselves gifts the entire time. So I mean, like, there's nothing big coming up on tomorrow night, because again, our anniversary's coming up later in the weekend.
Here's a guy.
I actually ordered like what our wedding cake was. Like, I ordered like a recreation of our wedding cake.
Oh,
and just not multiple tiered.
Like the Betty Crocker version, or did you get like the professional version?
A professional version. The guy that made the cake the first time is going to make another one the second time.
All right.
6 years later.
I think we have a caller on the line.
Oh, Jesus. Rock 102. Good morning. Who's this?
Hey, it's Joe from West Side. How are you?
Good, buddy. What's up?
I've got a foolproof Valentine's Day gift package.
All right.
You got a pen? Ready?
Yes.
Take this down.
Yeah. All right,
Box
go
of
ahead.
Chocolates.
Box of
Slippers.
chocolates. Slippers.
And a vibrator.
And a vibrator.
Because if she doesn't like the chocolates or the slippers, she can go blank herself.
All right. I gotcha.
Boy,
All right.
You had me nervous for a minute there, buddy.
I didn't know what you were going to say.
Zing, pow.
But there you go.
Yeah.
All right, pretty good.
All right, good.
This somebody says, Steve, you have 2 daughters. You need to get them a Valentine. Yeah, but I don't have to. I'm talking about another person that I have to go spend a lot of money on.
Yeah,
in order to show my dedication to them.
And you know what? It doesn't make any sense to spend a lot of money on a failing relationship.
No, it's
or one that's like right on the fence.
Believe me, I've had plenty of that.
Of course you have. Who wants more of it?
If I could get all that money back that I ever spent, I wouldn't need be here talking about this.
We'd be rich.
This guy, my girlfriend told me not to buy her flowers. She's a florist, and she says getting flowers any time of the year costs around $20 to $30. This week, those same flowers cost 3 times more, and it just doesn't make sense to get them now when you have the entire rest of the year to gift flowers to her.
Yeah, there's a surge pricing aspect to flowers right now. I mean, I'm not saying don't get them, but you reconsider. Like if you want to get a dozen roses, get 2. The same price.
You know what? Go to the grocery store. That's where the cheap flowers are.
You can get good flowers at Costco, too.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You don't need to go out and spend $300 on a bouquet of roses.
That's just going to wind up dying.
Just much like the relationship that you're in that you're spending $300 on.
Is that really worth it? I don't think so.
People are kind of dumb.
Sometimes they are, yes.
Spend the money.
That's right.
But, yep, scot-free. You douches spend your money the way you want to.
It's 8:21 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
This is not a rebel song.
Street Summers.
It's 8:25 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It's going to be a mix of crap out there right now for most of the day, and then cloudy by this afternoon with a high of 39. Tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds with a high of 31. It's 33 right now in downtown Springfield.
We got a mystery guest coming up later on this hour. Now, a mystery guest. Now, I know there's some people already making their guesses about who it's going to be. I guarantee you it's not who you think. But it's something that we're going to do. A little unusual. We don't normally do things like this, but today we do. So there you have it. So that's coming up around 8:45, 8:50 this morning.
Who's guessing? I haven't even seen anybody guessing. Are people messaging you?
Yeah, I've had a couple of people say, was it this guy? No, it's not that guy. Is it that lady? No, it's not that lady.
Who do you think the mystery guest is? 293-1021 on the Route 10 Tire listener line. You can text us and tell us who you think it is.
Sure, there's be a few people with nothing else to do.
I bet the mystery gets the mystery guest puts the miss in mystery.
Yeah, many people will miss who it is.
Yes. I see what you're doing there.
I see. Yeah. Anyway, so make sure you listen to that. It's gonna be pretty cool.
I don't know. I'm tired today. I'm just like exhausted.
Really? I feel about as wide awake as I've been all week long.
Are you serious?
I actually had, like, for the first time in a long time, a halfway decent night's sleep, and I don't know why.
I wish I had a decent night's sleep.
Yeah,
I kept waking up every, hour. I hate that.
I've been waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
for the last week. And I don't know why, because I wake up at 3.
It's the morning wind calling you, Bax. Do you not know anything about the law of attraction?
Well, I
Can
do.
You manifest things into your life, I wish I could manifest a good night's sleep.
Love to manifest better overall sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You watching any romantic comedies for Valentine's Day, huh?
No,
Here's 26 of them you can check out this weekend.
Great.
You've Got Mail from 1998.
Right.
10 Things I Hate About You from 1999. Sleepless in Seattle from 1993. Oh, two
boy.
Meg Ryan movies
No,
in the
please,
top 3. Come on.
It's not going to happen.
To All the Boys I've Loved Before from 2018.
Nope.
Crazy Rich Asians. When Harry Met Sally. 3 Meg Ryan movies in the top 10.
Well, that is most of what she did.
My Best Friend's Wedding. Oh yeah, that's where that hua Julia Roberts convinces her best friend not to marry a guy so she can marry him.
See, I missed a lot of these romantic comedies.
Yeah, how about
there's not enough explosions or car chases.
The Proposal? Not to be confused with Indecent Proposal. That was always a good romantic comedy.
That's
when Robert Redford paid that hua Demi Moore $1 million to have sex with him.
Demi hua.
Pretty Woman. Another movie about a hua. What's up with Julia Roberts playing a lot of huas in these things? Crazy Stupid Love, Pretty in Pink. Oh, yeah, that Molly Ringwald.
Yeah. Boy, I had my thoughts about her.
That hua back there. Yeah, that Ducky loved her so much, and she still walked away from him to go with Blaine.
Yeah, I never liked that.
Yeah.
I always had a problem with that.
Moonstruck. Oh, that hua Cher. What about Notting Hill? Oh, that hua, what's his name?
I don't even know.
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant.
That hua. Never Been Kissed, Anyone But You, Red, White, and Royal Blue, and My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Yeah, that Greek hua that was all about.
Come on, she was a nice lady.
And then, what about The Wedding Singer?
Oh, yeah.
Hua, Drew Barrymore. Or that 50 First Dates, another hua, Drew Barrymore.
Two Drew Barrymore?
Two hua, Drew Barrymores. You can't spell Barry hua without Barrymore.
It's 8:29 at Rock 102.
Valentine at the 99 restaurants, February 14th through 16th, and enjoy delicious menu specials like the juicy 18-ounce T-bone steak, lobster topped haddock, or creamy short rib mac and cheese. You gotta love the nines.
8:32 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by Yankee Home Improvement. Breaking news, homeowners are saving big on windows and showers. Call Yankee Home today and don't miss out. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
What do you want to hear about? You want to hear about some scandal going on in West Springfield, or you want to hear about a garage that went on fire in Holyoke, or everything in between?
Gee, a scandal or a fire in Holyoke?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with a scandal, because fire in Holyoke's happen, every couple of hours?
Yeah, I guess they do. But there's some stuff going on in West Springfield. Let's see. We can pull this article up again. The West Springfield Colleen contest.
Mm-hmm.
Scandal. 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 The city's most prestigious pageant was cast into chaos when the wrong Colleen was crowned during a public ceremony at Sturroton Tavern Saturday night. 5 finalists were vying for the top spot in the annual Irish Heritage Contest. Because of a clerical mistake, the wrong contestant was named in error, leaving the true winner out in the cold.
Why are there clerics involved in this contest?
Actually, wouldn't the real winner be left out in the cold by having to ride that parade float during the St. Patrick's Day parade?
Yeah. It can get chilly out there.
The pageant is hosted by the West Springfield St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee. At least 2 committee leaders reportedly submitted their resignations over the fiasco. Committee member Lynn McCarthy did not respond for a request for comment. The winner receives a $3,000 college scholarship and a premier spot on the float in the Holyoke St. Patrick's Day Parade. I'll take the $3,000.
I don't need to be in a parade.
No. okay, go ahead and make some. Listen, I know they do good and they do volunteer work and all that other stuff that they do for their community.
Yeah.
That'll be fine. But to have to ride a parade float for 4 hours in the middle
wave at people
in the middle of Holyoke, watching a bunch of drunk city councilors pee behind a dumpster. Remember that?
Yeah,
We've seen video of that before.
I know.
The event's MC, Town Councilor Brian Clune, said he was given an envelope by organizers when the moment of truth was near. They handed me the envelope with the number 3, with no corresponding name. Then I referred to another handwritten note I was given, and Charlotte Brooks was listed as number 3. I feel bad for the girls who are caught up in this. I'm blaming this all on Brian Clune.
I'm not blaming Brian Clune. Obviously, this is a clerical error, and fingers need to be pointed. And it's such a disaster.
Yeah, but
You've had people from this committee who have walked out in disgust and said, "I can't be a part of this."
Right.
Phony Colleen sham.
So let's get a scapegoat. I think Brian Clune would be the perfect scapegoat for this whole fiasco.
Again,
be the fall guy, Brian. Just say, you know what, I effed up. Yeah, and even if you didn't, just say you did.
Well, why would he say he effed up if he didn't F up?
Because
somebody else's F up.
It's more understandable if somebody just says, hey, I made a mistake.
Man,
as opposed to making it like the scandalous thing, like something nefarious happened behind closed doors at the Colleen Committee.
See, the moment he does that, he falls on the sword in this whole thing. All of a sudden, it emboldens this rogue element in the Colleen Committee, who they're now emboldened to think they've got more power than they actually do.
Well, they are kind of like the Vatican, aren't they? Like deciding which one of these young ladies is going to be win the popularity contest for this city.
I got to tell you, there's people in West Springfield between your Rotaries and now this. I don't know what you guys are doing over there.
Now the girl who, they had a little meeting, and the girl who was supposed to win,
right?
She was gracious enough to go, all right, you can let her have it.
Will Reichelt has typically has the wisdom of Solomon. If there was going to be one person that could resolve this whole thing, I'd like to think that Will Reichelt would be the guy. Between him and Ed Sullivan, they should be able to figure this whole thing out.
All right, and this is Will Reichelt's thing. We will cut the Colleen in half.
Yes. One side will be on the float, the other side will get the
right
the scholarship.
And then finally, the other Colleen, no, you let her have it. I don't want to see anybody get hurt.
Could you resolve this, and rather than give it award $2,000-$3,000 scholarships, could you split it in half and make it $1,500 scholarships for each?
Well, no, because that's not fair to either of them. You give them both $3,000. And you know what? The one who graciously stepped away also gets $3,000. She don't have to ride the parade float. That's the real prize here.
Yeah, you did her a favor.
Is not having to be with a bunch of drunks on St. Patrick's Day up in Holyoke while they all pregame at the Kmart Plaza. All of them sitting around reminiscing. You remember when the Pal Joey's was here? You remember that place?
You remember when there's an actual Kmart operating around here?
You remember when you could walk into Pal Joey's and just see the HIV in the air?
Oh, my God.
Gone are the days of the original Holyoke St. Patrick's Day parade. What?
Huh?
What?
Well, nothing. All good.
Wait, you're going to tell me that Pal Joey's was a nice place?
Every time I went in there, I go, wow, what a great place. Look at all the police officers that are enjoying themselves here.
Yeah, well, on that one day out of the year. The rest of the time, the police officers are there trying to get the people out of the bar.
True, that is true.
They used to show up and go, hey, this place is our hangout. This is our clubhouse once a year.
Listen, I'm not saying. Listen, we've both been in the parade. We know what goes on over there. We've both been barred from the parade in years past. It's a great event, and good on Holyoke for having that and the road race all in the same weekend. But given the choice, it ain't worth giving up a $3,000 scholarship for.
No.
I would much rather have $3,000 in my pocket.
Probably because this kid's got a good head on his shoulders. It's like, I don't even want to get involved in this.
I could be outside in March.
It's going to make, she probably feels like it's going to make me look like a jerk if I start complaining about it. So just let this one have her day. She can do it. But we can't find out any information about this because they're all under non-disclosure, binding non-disclosure agreements.
The cloak of secrecy in this whole thing is a little concerning to me.
What is this, the Vatican? The Vatican?
Yes, the Vatican cannot.
The Vatican cannot.
Right.
Yeah. How secret do you need to be with a committee like this?
I don't have any idea.
Let's see. You want to hear? Let's hear some stupid stories.
Yeah, let's wait until now.
A Florida sheriff's office clapped back at a wanted woman on social media after she shared the agency's Facebook post taunting deputies to arrest her. The Alcachua County Sheriff's Office posted to Facebook on Tuesday asking for information on the whereabouts of Quanteria Panky Richardson.
Panky.
Richardson shared the photo with the caption, "Shh. Ain't hard to find. Do your job."
Okay.
On Wednesday, they shared a screenshot of Richardson's post with some commentary of their own. Panky, low-key, you ate that. Lucky for you, we are used to those who play hard to get, wrote the sheriff's office. Real talk. Be our Valentine. They offered to pick Richardson up in a custom green and white whip and take her to the best bed and breakfast in town. That's an offer.
I'd take that.
In another Facebook post, Richardson insisted she high-key ate and once challenged deputies to arrest her. That's why y'all mad. Now come get me, pigs.
Police don't respond very well to that kind of language.
I've seen some police departments have the comedian that does really well trolling the suspects.
Right.
They need to step up their game a little bit, this sheriff's office.
Maybe by going to like a $20 comedy show?
I would think so. You can get your 5 minutes of practice, and then you can go back on social media, and you can come out with some great comebacks.
Yeah, you'll learn a lot. You need the experience.
And here's some sad news. Jo-Ann Fabrics is closing 800 stores.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
Jo-Ann Fabrics, the fabrics and crafts retailer, is closing, more than half of its 800 stores. So only 500 of them.
Still a lot.
Yeah, approximately 500 stores across the United States are closing, the retailer said in a statement, saying that they're right-sizing our store footprint is a critical part of efforts to ensure the best path forward.
Unless you go to the one store it's about to be closed in your neighborhood.
Where is the Jo-Ann Fabrics around here? There's one in Holyoke. I know there's one.
There's one in Enfield, too. Think that one's closing.
Well, which one are they going to keep open? Are they going to close both of them?
I don't know. I haven't. Believe it or not, I didn't go and see the list.
Although the company's statement did not provide a list of specific locations, court filings reveal stores are closing in all 50 states, with California, Florida, Indiana, Michigan, New York, Pennsylvania, and Washington among those heavily affected by the closures. The major reduction in its footprint comes after Jo-Ann filed for bankruptcy last month for the second time in less than a year. You're not very good with your finances if you're filing bankruptcy twice.
Well, a lot of people, when they get in their arts and crafts stuff, they're getting it online. They're not necessarily going to a store to get it anymore.
It depends on what you're getting.
Sure,
but I don't think you need these giant stores to do that anymore. You don't need that much space.
Right.
You can have a quarter of the space, have people come in there, so you're not paying all this rent and taxes and, keeping these places open.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can have an online ordering system. Like, hey, we'll ship it right to the store here. You can come pick it up tomorrow.
Yeah, but it's hard. First of all, most Jo-Ann Fabric stores are sizable pieces of property.
Yeah.
So you're talking about, rent per square foot. And it's probably very expensive to continue to do that. So it's like you either downsize or we close stores.
Have you ever been inside of a Joann Fabrics?
Dude, you have no idea how many hours in my life I have been forced to go to a Joann Fabrics.
We should go on the Joann Fabrics store tour 2025 before they all close. Just the ones here in New England.
I think I've been through most of them.
You know who shops at a Joann Fabrics store?
Who?
Nothing but a bunch of who's. That's who.
No. Come on now.
Your Pioneer Valley forecast today is going to be a mix of slush out there today. High of 39. Tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds with a high of 31. It's 34. Like a whore in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 8:51 and the Foo Fighters on Rock 102.
34 in downtown Springfield. All right, on the phone with us, we have a mystery guest.
All right.
And we'll try to play a little 20 questions here to see who this person is.
Well, first of all, welcome, mystery guest. It's great to have you on the show.
Thank you guys for having me on.
Oh, no problem. All right. So, number one, are you a person or a real living human being? Are you a real living human being?
Yes, I am not AI. I am a real person.
Well, that's good. That's encouraging.
Are you involved in some sort of entertainment or media?
I think so.
All right. Have you ever worked in radio?
Oh, yes.
Are you known for working with rock or metal music?
Yes.
Have you been active in your career for over 20 years?
I hate to admit it, but yes.
Have you primarily worked in the Boston area?
Yes.
Are you known for your distinctive voice and personality?
And my cackle, yes.
Have you ever been involved in charities that support veterans' efforts?
Yes, 100%.
Are you ready to take a guess now, Steve?
Yeah. Is this Wendy Williams?
No, it is not. I'm going to guess it's probably not Wendy. And can I say who it is?
Go ahead.
All right, it is the new host of the Laser 99.3 morning show. It's Mistress Carrie. How are you, Carrie?
What's going on, guys?
I thought Wendy. I mean, you sound a little bit like Wendy Williams, a little bit.
I mean, you get the raspy, not very smooth and sexy voice. It doesn't do much.
Yeah, but I don't know of any instance where you've, passed out in the middle of a broadcast. I mean, I've done it, but I don't know if you've done it.
I got to think. You know what? I think I've come close, but I don't think I've ever actually lost consciousness live, no.
Well, listen, we are excited that you're going to be joining the Springfield Media Group here at in Springfield. And, I mean, you're a legend in this area.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I have had a very fortunate and lucky career, and it's because, for some reason, people like listening to my show, and I love them for it.
Well, so here's the thing, Carrie, and I'm delighted you're here because I've been here for an extraordinarily long amount of time, maybe even too long, some would say. But I want you to be successful over there, but not too successful that you would overshadow us. I mean, do you understand what I'm getting at?
Be good, but not too good.
Yeah, I think it's a reasonable request, don't you, Steve? You think it's reasonable?
We might have to have a weekly phone conference to tell you to dial it back just a little bit.
Yeah, listen, you're being way too popular.
I just want to be clear. Are you guys asking for mercy, and I haven't even started yet?
Yes, pretty much is what we're doing. I mean, you have you're a much more polished broadcaster than either of us two could ever hope to be.
Oh, come on! Don't insult me like that.
Good comeback, but this is very exciting because you have been involved in the state and in broadcasting for a long time. When did you start? It was like 98, right?
I started on the air full-time in 98, but I had been in Boston at the radio station for 7 years before they were trusting enough to give me a microphone. So I worked my way up from unpaid intern fetching coffee. I drove the van. I handed out bumper stickers. I did it all before they put me in front of a microphone, and that was an experiment. They weren't even sure it was going to work, and then 20-something years later,
Yeah.
You know, I was still doing it there.
Until they decided.
Obviously, everything changed.
Until they decided, you know, this success isn't doing us enough. Let's flip over to Christian rock.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
it makes total sense to me.
And you can imagine how jarring that must be for an audience that's waiting for Black Sabbath. You can imagine how smooth of a transition that had to be.
Well, that's why we picked Black Sabbath as the last song, because we wanted to inject as much Satan as humanly possible into that radio station before we left.
As if radio ownership groups weren't already doing that.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Well,
Can you believe that was 5 years ago?
I know. Yeah. It's unbelievable. I mean, I used to listen. I listened to that station back when I was in high school. In the early 80s. I mean, I remember that station for forever, and I've been here since '95. So the good news is, once they keep you here and they like you, they're very unlikely to ever let you go. So that's.
Oh, I have full plans to become a barnacle on that ship. They're not getting rid of me.
That was my plan back in the '90s, and yet here I am after all this time, unable to leave. I want to ask you. I do want to ask you though, because one of the things I think is really, really cool is the podcast you've been doing, the Mistress Carrie podcast. You've had some amazing guests over the last couple of years, and this is like a weekly podcast where you're doing rock interviews.
I was always known for the interviews and kind of the backstage access that I gave the audience, and so when I launched the podcast after I was unceremoniously let go from my previous employer, I wanted to be able to take it to the next level, because with podcasting, you can say whatever you want, you can talk about whatever you want, and I wanted the podcast to be the conversations that the rock stars and I have backstage at shows when we're hanging out on the tour bus, the conversations that we would have in the studio during commercials. I want to give the audience the opportunity to really get to know the artist the way that I'm lucky enough to get to know them.
Yeah, and that's a great point, because in this broadcasting business, you only have a finite number of minutes to ask a few questions to get somebody to promote their upcoming concert. But it is those real conversations that happen backstage that are the gems. I mean, that's the stuff you want to hear.
Yeah, you want to get to know the people behind your favorite songs. You want to hear the artists and the albums that inspired them to pick up a guitar in the first place. You want to hear about where they grew up, and I want to know when bands come to Springfield where they want to go to get the best pizza, or if I go to their hometown, where they're going to take me for the best lunch. Or, I mean, these guys are and girls are the most well-traveled people on the planet. They're on tour all the time. So if you want to know where to get the best food, where to get the best drinks, where to hang out, you ask the rock stars. They know everything. Yeah.
Well, let me give you a little insight into my backstage experience in my long broadcasting career. It goes something like this. Hi, I'm Bax from Rock 102. I'm here to introduce the band. Get out! That was it. Yeah. That was it. And you know what?
You need to be a little bitchier like me. It works for me.
I guess falling into the fetal position and crying myself into a little puddle probably wasn't going to be good enough. But that's how I established this long career.
Yes. Well, it's working for you, so don't think anything.
That's right. Well, listen, congratulations. The show starts Friday, tomorrow morning. It's going to be awesome. It's great to have you here with with Rock 102 in Springfield and Laser 99.3. Welcome to the quote-unquote family.
I really appreciate the welcome that you guys have been giving me. I know what it's like to be at a place for a long time and to have somebody come in from outside. You guys have been there and been a family for so long, and I was nervous that I wasn't going to be welcomed, and you guys have been amazing. So thank you so much, and I will try to do a really good job, but just not a better job than you guys.
That's like music to my ears right there.
If it doesn't work, if it doesn't work out, Wendy Williams is always available.
she's got lots of time in her hands too. Yeah. She really does. Mistress Carrie, great to talk to you. Best of luck.
Thank you guys so much. Happy Valentine's Day.
You too. Mistress Carrie with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.